From rainy and sunny and humid Costa Rica, I am Joey J. Ping here of Respect My Region. Today we have a wonderful RMR podcast with a friend and an experienced cannabis connoisseur, educator, general manager. The list goes on. She's what some people would describe as a cannabis retail expert, folks. This is Diane Kessler, GM of Arts District Cannabis, downtown LA. Culture, cannabis. I love it, man. How you living, Diane? How we doing?
Doing good, it's top of July. I feel like good things are going to be happening soon. So, we're doing good.
There, there's a lot to be positive about. There's a lot going on in LA. We just dealt with protests. We dealt with escalations of things with Marines. You were in downtown LA. You were in the thick of it. I gotta
Yeah.
ask this question, but before we do, I gotta shout out our sponsor. Blackleaf.io sponsor, folks. Big shout out to them for supporting us. Reward your customers, retain your customers. SMS marketing with no contracts or commitments as low as 1 cent per SMS. But this episode's not about text messaging. We want to talk about Arts District Cannabis. We want to talk about Diane. So the protest just happened. The rest of the world thinks that LA is on fire. Anytime there's something going on in LA, it's the entire LA is just burning. Things are big, it's crazy. That's what people think is going on in LA. It's never true. It's only
It's never
ever a small area or a small portion of the city. You guys are there. You guys are over. Arts District is the name of it. So you guys are over there in the Arts District, right on the other side of Skid Row from truly downtown LA. What was it like for you guys? How was the retail experience? What was going on?
I mean, luckily for us, we were really on the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything crazy outside of, we're pretty much Skid Row also, so we see craziness every day. But
craziness is a part of your day there in that general area.
It is, yes. But I heard a lot of sirens, heard a lot of helicopters, but luckily we kind of were away from all of that.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, a couple blocks away it was on and popping. Like Little Tokyo got hit. That's a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
So we were close, but we're a community store as well. Since we're in the Arts District, there's a community there. So the curfews kind of, hit us a little bit. We had to close early. I wanted to stay open as long as possible just to serve our community because people were stressed. They needed their cannabis and their medicine.
It was undoubtedly a very, very stressful time and volatile and scary for quite a few people there. Real.
Yeah. Definitely scary. Definitely real. But we just remained open for as long as we could. Just wanted to make sure people were good.
Good. A local business giving us an actual perspective of what was happening during those protests, some of them becoming riots, but ultimately just people sharing their displeasure for what ICE and the deportation and what's going on across the country. For you guys there, Arts District Cannabis, you guys do represent community. You guys do represent culture. I know you have been very not just online vocal, but locally vocal in person. You're just very much an advocate for supporting and amplifying local, not necessarily everything, but local to whatever is local to where you are or what you're standing for, or what you're rocking with, How important is cannabis to that Arts District community? How important is your store and what it represents there? Because there's not a lot of the legal stores there anymore. There used to be a bunch in those areas. There's really only a couple with the Cure Company and you guys. And I don't remember if Sweet Flower is still open over there, but
they're not.
Yep. See, at that point, I can only think of two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's us. I mean, Stizzy is down the way. It's definitely not considered Arts District, but they're pretty close. But I think I think cannabis is really important in this area. It is the Arts District. It is an artistic area. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of young people here, a lot of aspiring artists here, and if you know anything, that that cannabis and art go hand in hand. So absolutely. Just to be able to provide that. We also, collab with local artists. We put their artwork on our cannabis bags, on our building. We have an art gallery that the artists are able to display their art. We've sold art off of our wall as well, which puts money in the artist's hands as well. So yeah, we just want to be a place for people to feel comfortable, express themselves, be creative, and get the tools that they need to further be creative.
what kinds of brands are you guys carrying these days in there that help you guys continue to push this message out to share this mission of where art and cannabis collide? Who's on the menu these days, Diane?
I would say like some of our most popular, I'll shout out a couple brands. One of our most popular edibles, it's the Drops brand. I don't know if you're familiar, but they're
Oh
just
yeah,
like a
yeah.
gummy brand.
I actually used to sell them. They used to be part of the Buddies brand family.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I honestly really love their brand. And so do our customers. They come in like a 20 piece,
Mhm.
like you can get 20 pieces or two
Like a little
pieces, which is
tin, right? Like
cool.
a tin, like a metal
Hmm.
tin almost. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
They're cute.
Which I think is super cool because, you know, the 20 pieces gives you the lower dose per piece, or you can get the two pieces, which is a higher dose per piece.
Yep.
So, you know, people get to decide how they want to experience their
Are
high,
you
which
a
I
high
really like.
dose one gummy or a 20 piece kind of girl? What are you, Diane?
Definitely like a 20 piece.
Same.
I'm trying to get more into like edibles and figuring out what my tolerance is,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm definitely like a low tolerance edible girl.
I'm a 15 because we can smoke, right? We can smoke and
Yeah.
hash roll and dab. I won't speak to your dabbing, but I would assume that because
Yeah.
Benjamin, you're trying all that stuff, and LA is definitely a heavy dab culture over time. But and we're both from Seattle, so I'm just going to assume you do all the weed things. But
Yes.
edibles truly hit everybody differently, right, Diane? Like,
Hmm.
even though we both smoke and we could smoke the same and hang out for years, right? Like, we could both ingest something, and the way it hits us both is going to be astronomically different. And that's something
Yeah.
that I
Hmm.
appreciate about, like you're saying, like it drops and or some of these other brands when they do the same flavors in different dosing. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm here for that because I love more candy or more fruit or more versus the bigger piece
Hmm.
with the higher
Hmm.
doses. My dose is only 15 to 20, like 30, 40. I start feeling like I'm yawning, and I don't
Yeah.
like yawning when I'm high because that's a downhill path to I'm crashing
Hmm.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I hate that shit.
Same. Like I really, yeah, I need to kind of know, obviously, like we said, cannabis is going to hit people differently, but I like to know in the ballpark, like where I'm headed, which is another reason why I like drops because they have, you know, like active, they have balance, they have dreamy, they have exciting. I think I might have just made that up, but you know, kind of like gives you an
Yeah, yeah.
idea of the vibe that you're
Kind
going
of,
to
yeah.
experience.
Vibe is the right word. I feel like for that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they kind of let you know the vibe of what's going to happen, which, you know, nothing can be 100%, but it's in the ballpark. And people like to be able to be like, you know, I need something for sleep. And it's literally says sleep on there, or it says dreamy on there.
I
Or they're
actually
like, I
just
need
bought one of their
something.
20 packs the other day. I bought one for my mom.
Yeah, I like drops a lot. I'm gonna give them their flowers because they're doing a good job.
Crushing it in the edibles game. What about for like I know vapes and pre rolls are pretty solid category. Do you guys have any external partners that are not your guys? Because I don't know if you guys are making vapes for yourself yet, but do you guys have any vapes or pre roll partners that you feel are, really help you guys advocate and share that where cannabis and culture meet and intersect at?
Yeah, so for the pre-roll brand, I would say Birdies, which
I
I've
think I've
been
heard of them.
locked in with the Birdies crew for a while. They actually were one of our first sponsors for All My Friends Are Dope, so
Oh, cool.
have a soft spot for them. But Birdies are great. They have, you know, their three lines. They have a CBD, a 20 to 1 pre-roll in like a 3 pack, and in a I think it's a 20 pack or maybe a 5 pack, which is great because it's lower THC. That's another thing that because we're in a high tourist area too, you know, people want to come to California and experience cannabis, you know, like when in Rome. So people want to experience it. But if you've never consumed before, especially if you haven't consumed California cannabis,
Yeah, it
you
can be a
know,
lot.
some of the high THC stuff can be a little overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking for CBD flower because it's, you know, easier to introduce people that aren't trying to get super stoned. A lot of people come in and they're like, yeah, we're just trying to smoke a joint and like walk around. So we're not trying to be like in zombie mode. So I'll introduce them to the Birdies 3 pack. It's also a 3 pack. Like if you're here for
Cool.
a week, like that should be good. It's a 20 to 1, but they have like the different the three different tiers. They have the CBD, they have which is their lights, and then they have just their traditional, which is just nice flower. I would put it kind of in the same realm as, I don't know, maybe like Pacific Stone, maybe like Lowell, like that kind of vibe.
Hmm.
Cigarette, like rolled like cigarettes, so they look cute. And those are in 3 packs and 10 packs. And then they have their infused line, which is infused with diamonds. So for people that are like, okay, I'm ready to, get a little bit more THC, we can push them onto
Hmm.
that. And they're very reasonably priced. They're super cute. The packaging's great. I'm a sucker for packaging. Yeah, I really like Birdies. I think they're doing a really good job with their menu selection.
Hearing how you describe the products and what you enjoy and how you choose to communicate them to customers and when, it has me appreciating, but also appreciating the fact of like how we go back to the education part, like, and then like the curation of a menu. So my question is, are you still the primary buyer for ADC?
Yeah. Hmm.
So with that said, it's like this balance of like the right product and curating it, not having too much. You got to sell through things in a timely manner. I know these are all different variables that contribute to some version of success, but
Hmm.
what contributes to your guys' version of success there at ADC? How do we define that? Is it just foot traffic and we want to get a $80 basket size? Like, how do you really quantify or and qualify those scenarios?
I mean, I guess it depends on what part of me you're asking. Like, obviously, I want high baskets. I want, people to come in and people to purchase our product because we honestly get the best margins.
Tricky
Um,
balance, right? To do that, to integrate your stuff into this other buying equation with third parties.
yeah, it is. It is. I mean, easy for us, more difficult for the other brands, but yeah, ultimately, like I said, I'm a community girl. So I just want people to come into the store and feel safe and feel comfortable and feel like our prices aren't overwhelming and feel like our selection's big but not overwhelming. Um, I love to hear, which I'm sure all retailers do, but I love to hear people say that like we're their primary store. Like I had a customer come in yesterday. We were out of a product, and he in front of me called his another store to see if they had it, which I was like, they didn't have it though. But he was like, oh no, he was like, these are my backup. Like this is my backup. Like I always come to you guys first. Like and stuff like that is what I really like. I will take it back to when the riots and stuff were happening. There was a store, I'm not going to name them, but a store downtown that got hit and was closed, which brought people to us. And just the reaction of people when they come in and they're like, wow, like, why have I been going to the other store? It's so nice in here. Like, you guys have a great selection. Like, that stuff I really like is just people coming in and like appreciating what we're trying to provide, which is
Yeah,
just,
some of those nuances
welcoming.
that were personally kind of crafted into the experience.
Yeah, because there's so many dispensaries, and at the end of the day, we're all selling the same product. Like we're all doing the same thing. So it's like, what can you do to stand out? And I think just providing a cool vibe, a good selection, educated bud tenders as well is very important. And I take a lot of pride in that. So I love when people give us, props because I'm like, yeah, we are pretty cool.
What do you guys do in 2025 to keep your staff up on the brands and educated? Because there are a variety of resources out there, such as like a seed talent and some of these incentive programs. But with your experience, what are you guys doing, and what has worked or what hasn't worked?
So we are on Spark Plug, which is like a incentive that usually is initiated by brands. It's really just like a sell through incentive, but it kind of creates an avenue for the staff to like try things. We also provide a discount so that our staff can try stuff. We also do sample bags twice a month, so that they can also try products. And we have a Slack channel for product reviews. So whenever our
Nice.
staff get something, they'll try something, they'll put the review in the Slack, which is good. Also, because not everyone tries everything. I can't try everything. Sorry, loudness, but I can't try everything. So it's cool to see the products that people do try. They'll
Mhm.
put in Slack whether they liked it or not. It also helps because, brands will give us product and they'll ask how people feel about it. I can literally just screenshot the Slack message and send it to them word for word. And my staff will be honest. Like
Yeah.
this was a 2 out of 10. I hated it. I would not give this to anyone, and I'll just send that over to the brand. Like, this is what they thought.
Some of these
Um,
pre-rolls that are out there.
exactly. Yeah. 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 So, just giving the staff as much opportunity to try things. Because I think, obviously where brands will come in and do brand education, all that. But I think you get the best results from like actually trying it, actually having it in your hand. Um, so yeah,
Formulating your
just
own opinion about it and being able to say some shit.
yeah, exactly. And customers love that. Like that's one thing, like they're always gonna be like, have you tried this? Like, what have you tried? What do you like? So yeah, giving the staff that opportunity. I've always been like passionate about in all my stores. I'm like sample bags, try everything so
Mhm.
that you know what you're selling people. It's pretty
What
important.
with the last few months, with right now being summer and the last few months having some pretty major holidays, Memorial Weekend, Cinco, and 420. What were you guys up to for those holidays? Let's start with 420 because that's the big one.
Yeah, 420. I mean, we typically do, a fun day of events.
Food
I'm
trucks,
really
churros. What'd you guys go with? What'd you guys do this year?
Yeah, so this year we kind of toned it down. So the DCC, the DCR, like they're very strict on like events in retail. And there was actually a retailer last year in the Valley that ended up getting fined like, I think like 40 grand for their
Wow.
420 party. Yeah, when you look more into it, I think there was some underlying situations that got eyes on them, but yeah. So, my boss was very aware of that. And he was like, we don't want a $40,000 fine. And we usually do 420 really big. We'll hire like a band, we'll get food trucks, we'll do
Yeah.
activations. But we wanted it to be a little bit calmer this year, just, for the changes and just the environment in general. We did run like a lower discount this year for 420 for a shorter amount of time, but our margins were better this year than last year. So that was a
Yes.
cool test just to see like, you know, do we have to do the 50% offs? Do we have to do the 3 days
Yeah.
of discounts? Because I think 420 this year was like on a Thursday. It was on like an
Sunday,
off
Sunday. I
day.
think it was Easter Sunday. No.
You're right. You're right. It
Yeah.
was Easter Sunday. So it was a Sunday. So people were doing like Friday, Saturday,
You
Sunday.
didn't really need to do
Um,
that because they were already going to shop anyways and do that.
exactly. Yeah. So we just did the Sunday. We cut the discount a little bit less than last year. We saw less people. We had a shorter discount, but we did make more money. So that was cool.
Point of this is to make money, Diane. So that's a recipe for success right there. You guys caught a dub. Let's go.
Yep. Yep. So
Let's
that
go.
was super cool. But we still had fun. We still had a lot of art. We had some vendors. We had music. But we've been doing a lot of cool things with our artists that we partner
Mhm.
with. This year in May, we did an art show. Our current partners are 3 women. So for Women's Month, they did an art show. People got to come in, or an art class. People got to come in and learn the different painting styles from the artists. We did screen printing. It was super, super fun. I had a really
Ooh.
good time.
Yeah, I would love to be. It's like we started as a clothing company, right, going back in the day, and it's like I would love to be able to go learn and be a part of something like that, especially somewhere like in LA and the historic arts district too. I just think that that's
Hmm.
like that's going back to this hub of art and culture and cannabis right there, really connecting and being at the intersection of that. Dope,
Yeah.
man. Y'all are dope, man. Doing it right, man. Doing the culture right by actually doing and creating cultural opportunities, moments to create memories is huge there. Some of my other questions for you for the retail, real quick. We just saw. I do this all the time, and maybe people get sick of this or not. But I love hearing about what's the hottest 5 products in the store right now. Man, hit me with your starting 5, Diane. What's good?
I mean, I drops. I'm gonna give it to them. They're top birdies. They're one of the top.
Boom.
The boutique switches, top vape.
Okay.
Um, I would say Sherbinski's, which is, I wouldn't even want to say love hate, but I have a relationship with Sherbinski's. I used to manage that store,
Cool.
open to manage that store. So it was kind of cool to see
The
Stravinsky's
flower has
coming back.
undoubtedly been up and down with Stravinsky's for years, but
Yeah,
Stravinsky's is cemented as a legend and goated in
yeah.
Canada.
And like when it comes to Sunset Sherbet, when it comes to gelato, like
Goated.
yeah, they
Uh,
know. Yeah, like I'm just like
uh,
I don't know
that's
what to
it.
tell you. Like so, yeah, Stravinsky's definitely top. Raw Gardens definitely top.
Yep.
Kind of like the higher brands like Connected and Alien Labs has been killing it. They're great with their promos as well. They have great promos, so that's definitely
Got them both
yep.
right here, dude. Got the live
Mm-hmm.
recording, got the cured from Connected, dude.
Yep.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
So, they're really good too. Brands that I'm excited about, we just onboarded another CBD brand called Country Cannabis. They have
Okay.
a little bit more ratios of their pre-rolls, but I'm excited for them because, like I said, we get tourists, we get people in here that, they see 29%, 30%, and they freak out. So now we have some stuff that's in the lower teens in the
Yeah.
THC because it's partnered with CBD, and I'm excited to get that in people's hands as well.
I think that there's
Um,
something that like reading between the lines, not necessarily of like you like I'm not even saying you have like this message that you are trying to communicate about this high THC versus low or the CBD versus not. When I read between the lines, it's very clear that you guys believe in those ratioed products. It's very clear that there's a culture that you're trying to not trying to that you're actively living, breathing with this CBD to get to spread it and share it. It's not just flower to the people. We're trying to get some CBD to the people here with you guys.
yeah, yeah, we are. I mean, it's great. It's great. Also, I would say like drinks, which is crazy because
I love
two
drinks.
years ago, yeah, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, people are like, "What's up with all these drinks?" Like, but we sell out of St. Ides. Almora is another really good brand that we have. They have lemonades, and those sell, 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 sell,
I
sell.
love the juicer, the 15 milligram yuzu berry that they got with the 15 and 5. That's my shit. It's like a fruit juice seltzer. That's my shit
Mm,
from
yeah,
Almora.
yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I love, yeah, Almoras do really well. One of our investors loves Almora and will literally buy a case every time he comes in. So yeah, they're really killing it. And St. Ides, they've been killing it. They have their whole little vibe going. People love those.
Yeah,
So yeah,
they
those I
do
would say
they
are
do
top.
crush. Those St. Ides crush. They got the tea version. I think a juice version now too, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That
And
shit's
then
at
obviously
100
our
milligrams for
brand.
very affordable.
Yes, yes, yes. Very affordable, very
And,
affordable.
and this is a good point. You were just before I rudely interrupted. You were just about to talk about your guys' brand. That was my transition point. Being done with retail. My next question was about how is your guys' flower brand doing? You guys have a unique story, a unique come up with the cultivation side of the business, and now you guys have this vertical retail with a grow there. What's the latest with the brand and the cultivation and everything, Diane?
Yeah. So I mean, cultivation. The brand is 3C. We are, legacy brand, have been around for a long time. We have an original OG cut, so a lot of our stuff is just good, consistent, hitting all the time. We just recently switched over to an LED light system, so we're,
Ooh,
figuring that out, learning that, which has been really cool. Um, but yeah, we are now distributing through Punch. So if anyone wants 3C, hit up your Punch rep.
nice, dude. There
Um,
we go. Punch is solid too. They still got great products over there. They're still moving units. Let's go.
Yeah, they're great. Like I love Punch.
You
No
guys sell
complaints
Punch at the
there.
store too if they're on the squad?
Yep, we do. We do. Yeah,
I
they're
love that. I
rosin.
love
They're
that tier 3 and tier 4 rosin because although I
yep,
know that sounds funny to be like, oh, why do he buys mid-Z rosin? It's like, yeah, because I smoke my rosin. I don't actually
yeah,
dab it. I love to
yeah.
smoke it all.
And it's good. Like their tier 3, tier 4 is good. Like I
Yeah.
think their tier 4 is like their most popular. Um,
Affordable and flavorful. And for me,
mhm.
I think the word is malleable for me to make the right snakes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I use it. Yes, I definitely use it for that. But yeah, 3C is doing great. Our house brand at Arts District Cannabis is labeled Arts District Cannabis. It's the
Mhm.
same flower. We just kind of, the 3C brand, they have like their specific strains like Anunnaki, Crystal Skull. In the Arts District packages, we just have the actual strain. So instead of Anunnaki, it's Tahoe Wedding Cake. Instead of Crystal Skull, I believe it's Pure Kush. So we just kind of like, we stick with the roots just in the Arts District
Well, I
Cannabis
mean, yeah, I mean,
packaging.
there's branding and there's marketing, right? And there's the story, which 3C has longevity, it has legacy, it has culture, it
Hmm.
has community to it. They've
Yeah.
sold to a lot of people over the years,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
There's a lot of people has bought their weed over the years. But when we think about a house brand from a dispensary, the point is to get rid of all those bells and whistles and get it down as slim as possible, right?
Yep.
We're talking just like Kirkland, just give me vodka in a bottle. I don't even need a
Yep.
box. You just give me one sticker if we can. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's what a good house
Exactly.
product is, where they can keep coming back. And another importance of a good, whether it's a Wells drink at a bar or Kirkland signatures, whatever, wherein it's got to be brand name recognizable strains. I love that you guys have like the Pure Kush and some of these other strains. Could you perhaps remind some of the people that what is the lineup for you guys on some of those products? What are some of those strains?
Yeah, so we typically carry what we call the Sacred Seven. However, right now we have a bunch. I think on our menu right now we have a Runts, we have a Rainbow Belt, we have the Jack Herrera, which is part of this Sacred Seven. We have Tahoe Wedding Cake, which is part of the Sacred Seven. We have Tahoe. We have a Gorilla Glue, which on the 3C side, it's the SAT, which is really popular.
Yeah, that sap was super popular and delicious in extract form. I remember that. I used to buy that back in the day.
Yes, yes. Like the Crystal Skull. So we have the Pure Kush, we have the OG Kush. Pure Kush is one of our most popular. Like people love that
It's a
Pure
hitter.
Kush. They come in yelling it from the door, like, give me the Pure Kush. Like, I'm like, all right.
But I mean, Diane, you know me and my love for OGs, and we definitely have a
Mhm.
similar but drastically different in some ways. Cannabis, we'll call it career upbringing, if you would. But we started with the same palettes and styles and smoking and shit. Is that some real OG or what's up?
Yeah. Yeah, we have an original
That pure
cut
is
of
it dark and earthy like the Skywalkers and the Mars and these other ones, or is it the earthy, piney Oaksterdam Master Cushes?
I would say, I love like an earthy. I would give it like more that earthy
Okay,
dark-ish, but
darkish.
it's legit. We have a which I recently realized, but we have um Josh OG is somehow related to our master grower, sisters, cousins, brothers, something, closely
Love it. I
related.
love
So
it.
we have
You got a
an
cut.
actual OG cut. So yeah, we keep that close to us. So yeah, all of our OGs are
Dope.
legit.
That's dope.
Um, and they're good and they're consistent. That's what people can say about our flowers, that it's consistent. They know what they're
Yes.
gonna get. They know they're gonna like it. They know it's gonna be good. So
I've always said this about certain brands. California has different tiers of products and brands, guys. There are literally levels to this shit. There are some
love
brands that are in the top tier designer weed with fancy packaging, and they can do $80 A's or $9 off. You can do that all day. There's some brands that are you drop it down, they perfectly fit in with that 50 to 60. Some people stand out in that space, and then you have these product drops, these limited time offer drops that we've seen, Diane, over the years. They tend to flounder or flop in that $45 to $55 range because they're just not around long enough to get
it.
traction across all the stores. And then
Hmm.
you start getting into this. All right, these guys, they're not exactly up here. They're definitely better than here. They're not mids, and they're like in that $40 ish price point range. And it's like you guys at 3C and the Clade Nines and some of Claiborne's products and some of
Yep.
THC designs over the years that have consistently been in this realm of roughly there. Ember
Yeah.
Valley too for a period of time, where they, in my eyes, and this is no disrespect, where they weren't exactly like, oh my god, but they weren't priced to be like that, right?
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
never gave them that extra risk level or like, nah, man, I'm not fucking with that because I don't, they never hit the mark. It's like with these brands, you spend 40, $50 for an eighth. There's only so many things you got to hit. And as long as the weed's good every time, I could almost give a fuck about what the packaging is if it's really
Exactly.
some kush. If it's really
Hmm.
some kush, right? What are
Hmm.
you guys' house eights and those guys priced at?
We're at 35 out the door. So very, very competitive.
That's exactly what we're talking about. That's a competitively, perfectly priced eighth of really high quality indoor flower with real legacy genetics. You said the Sacred Seven was the terminology. Was that what it was?
Yeah, the Sacred Seven. That's like the original seven that, like I said, we have our one-offs like the runts, the rainbow belts. We have like a wedding cake, which, are like the fun ones. But
Yeah,
yeah, that Sacred Seven, the ones that you could probably always get. Yeah,
that's dope.
solid,
That's dope.
solid.
Well, Diane, but I only have a couple more questions for you in terms of this Arts District cannabis flower and the cultivation side of things. What's the latest strains you guys just dropped, and what are we seeing coming down the line? What are you excited about? What's been selling well?
I mean, for us with our brand, like I said, we tend to keep it simple, same kind of strains. I'm always gonna give the Anunnaki Tahoe wedding cake its flowers. It's
Mm-hmm.
just consistent. That's what I push on people. And our Jack
Recently
Herer, it's
hitting.
our
Yep.
yeah, our Jack Herer, it's our single sativa. I'm like, we should put one more sativa on there. We have like an off, like out of the Secret
Y'all
Seven
would
of
crush
fry
it like a
bread.
haze. Y'all would crush it. Some of this super lemon hazes or an amnesia haze. Some sour.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
like a sour. If we had like a sour diesel, wow.
Let them
Let
know.
me go
Let them
to
know, Diane. The best flower I smoked all year 2024 came from this trap grower. I won't name the name, but it was grapefruit piff.
Okay.
Grapefruit something. I don't remember what it was, but times the piff, which is some crazy haze or whatever. But
Hmm.
some kind of fruity thing that you guys like times a haze. That right there was the craziest smoke. And I'm seeing from Germany a lot of people's stories right now, and a lot of these other trappers. I'm seeing blueberry things coming back. I'm seeing a lot of blueberry
Mm,
crosses coming back at the high level. Blueberry candy, blueberry gases, all this stuff. And I'm here
I would
for it.
love
DJ
that.
Shorts was one of my all-time favorites back in the day in the Washington.
DJ Shorts Blue.
I bought a lot of DJ Shorts blueberry back in the day. I would mix it. I would mix that shit with Dutch Treat like crazy, bro.
I love DJ Shorts. Wow, wow. Yeah.
Blueberry's coming back, Diane. So keep your eye on that for some flavors from some of these growers out there.
Yes.
But yeah, like I really appreciate you joining us here today and chatting and sharing these updates. I hope everything's going well. Hope you stay safe out there. And LA's still just crazy no matter what's going on. So I just hope you stay safe in
Oh,
this LA craziness. Folks, this episode is brought to you guys by Blackleaf.io. Again, these guys are our premier cannabis marketing solutions partners for all things SMS. SMS marketing with no contracts or commitments as low as 1 cent per SMS. No commitments, no contracts. Like as I said, huge for a lot of retailers out there. Diane, my last thing for you here today before we get you out of here is, as I usually like to do, is I like to give the floor to my guests, let them share, talk about something. And so, you're big in a lot of different parts of this industry. So feel free to chat, share, promote whatever you guys got coming up. And since I'm not in California, let alone America right now, happy, I almost said 420. Happy 4th of July. I hope you have a lot of fun. Make sure you smoke something really great for me, if something like some real Cali shit, because
yeah.
I'm just vaping out here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, as I was telling you, social media got taken down, not on Instagram, living that life, but I am pushing more energy into my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So, all my friends are dope is the URL. Check out the website, join the email list. We have lots of cool, fun stuff coming. Not just like my brand, but I will be hyping up, the store products, all of that. It'll kind of be like a one-stop shop for cannabis, entertainment, art, fun, music, news, all of
You
that.
can't. You might take her shit down, but you can't hold her back from putting on for other people, man, and sharing the
Can't
culture.
do it. Can't do it. Yeah, new season of Harvest Session coming soon as well. New events in the LA area. Just
Come
tap
on.
in. All my friends are dope.com.
Tap in, folks. Diane Kessler, man, GM, Arts District Cannabis, supporting the 3C fam, supporting ADC, and back again on the show for episode 2 with us here, supporting RMR, man. We go back to the PNW, but we've made it to SoCal, and I've made it down here to Latin America, folks. So I got to get out of here and go enjoy some of this hot humidity and go get some kind of Caribbean food, because that's what I'm in the mood for. I love you guys,
Enjoy.
Diane. I appreciate you as always for your time. It's such a pleasure. We need to link when I get back in LA and just put one up. I got to come visit you at the store and shit.
Yeah,
See some of the
please.
plans. We got to do some concerts together. We just need to make some shit happen for the culture one time,
Yes.
at a minimum one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
but thank you again. Big shout out to our partner, Blackleaf.io. We'll